And good afternoon. Welcome to today's The Race is presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stan Salter along with Keith Fusel. We start live racing on Thursdays now for the rest of October. Beautiful weather today, a bunch of big fields, so looking forward to it. Some more action. It's an extra day to sharpen up our handicapping skills for that Stronach 5. The second week of the Stronach 5. That's going to be tomorrow, every Friday for the Stronach 5.
You better be sharp. I watched your video yesterday. You put it on late at YouTube. Go check it out. Stan and all the other hosts at the other racetracks putting together a ticket, giving you some helpful advice for the Stronach Pick 5. I know our two races here, our two legs 3 and 4, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Awfully good races. You got boys 2 other than going long, then the girls 2 other than going short. You're getting horses 8, 10 to 1 on the morning line. They're good horses.
Sure.
But the races are that competitive. Kudos. Great job by the racing office. Boy, they've really kind of come together. Everybody, the whole team, doing a good job.
Well, a bunch of big fields, and we have 2 of those big fields on the turf for the Stronach 5. Those will be legs C and D for the Stronach 5. It starts with a Santa Anita race tomorrow. We have all the details on our Stronach 5 promo video on the Laurel Park Twitter page and the YouTube page as well. It's a $1 bet, minimum $1 bet. It's an industry low 12% takeout, $50,000 guaranteed pool. I like a 10 to 1 shot in our last race tomorrow. Race 10 from the 1 hole, Daniel Centeno on Sweet Yarandera. Stepping up to a tough 3 other than stepping up to a tough 2 other than after winning a first level allowance.
But she fits. She keys up against the right horses, but you've kind of got a barn that, a lot of people really aren't familiar with, especially here at Laurel. But a horse maintaining form in against a field of other proven sprinters on the grass. That's what I think. I still think she's going to escape at a good price.
All right, so Stronach 5 tomorrow on Friday. We'll have tickets for that tomorrow. Let's get right to a big weekend. The Ravens are away this Sunday. They're in Cleveland, so 105.7 The Fan. Baltimore Game Day Uncensored. You're going to be live here up there at the sports bar right here at Laurel Park 3 hours before kickoff. And I believe that's a 1 o'clock game today. So 105.7 The Fan. They'll be here early Sunday morning with Kenny Weinman, Jerry Coleman, and Vinny Serrato. So come on out here, enjoy some live racing and all the football you can handle Sundays here at Laurel Park up there at the sports bar. Let's show you a picture of both tracks this afternoon. We're going to be on the turf and the main track. The main track is perfect, fast main track. The turf rated good. We're in the 80s, sunny. We've had some dry weather this week. We needed it to dry out that turf course. The turf course had a lot of rain these past few weeks. We'll start out at good, and then it might continue to dry out if we continue to have beautiful weather like this for the rest of the week.
Well, if it keeps like this, we need that thing to firm up. There's no doubt. I woke up even this morning, plenty of dew on the ground in the morning time, and we've heated up here in the afternoon. They did have the rollers going on this turf course. That's a positive sign.
Okay, let's get right to it here. Race 1's going to kick off the Rolling Super High 5. We have that every race with 7 or more horses. Little carryover, a little over $600 to start in race 1. That's a low 15% takeout on the Rolling Super High 5. We also kick off the early pick 5 in race 1. Both your pick 5s here at Laurel Park. Your best bet with that industry low 12% takeout. It's a mandatory payout on the early pick 5, always starting in race 1. Let's take a look. Maiden claiming 10,000 3-year-olds and upward, going 5.5 furlongs. Scratch the 1 Benlore, who was 7 or 2 morning line. The 1 Benlore out of the opener. So I end up on the 3 Wiggins from the Hammy Smith barn. Raylu Gutierrez, a 5-pound apprentice, will ride this 3-year-old by Justin Phillip. A good second against Maiden 25,000 Company last December when this horse was 2 and then didn't run very well in the mud last January. So coming off a long layoff today, first time gelding. I love that angle. And this new apprentice, Raylu Gutierrez, he looks like he rides pretty well. I think he's live on the 3 Wiggins here in the opener.
I think Wiggins fresh, first time gelding, a drop, should show a little bit more speed than what he showed in the past. Going to have to buck a trend here, though. Hammy 0 for 22 recently. Horses with this kind of layoff, we kind of got to get past it. Awfully short price, 6 to 5 right now on the board. Might float up a little bit from there. I think the key scratch with the 1 Benlore is going to help. My top selection, the 8 Sonny Hansen, off of a layoff for Jason Egan. This is a horse that ran well in debut, then was laid off, ran well off the layoff. Positional speed from the outside. That last race prior to layoff back in October of 17, inside was really not favorable. that night at Penn National. I'll pass on that race. This is a trainer that's patient with his horses. He's had a good year thus far. Sonny Hansen gets a break with a scratch. I think can go ahead and dictate.
Yeah, Jason Egan, a real good year. 8 winners from 38 starts, 21% clip, so doing well against Rosario Montanez. I like the 8. We both like the 2 here. Dove Dynasty, Brandon Whitaker on this 3-year-old by El Padrino for Kevin Dove. A good second last out at this level here at Laurel Park against Maiden 10. Beaten favored that day, but ran a good race, and he'll be coming late again. 5.5 might be just a little too short for him, though.
Yeah, he's going to come down off of that morning line, bet down to just under 2 to 1 last time out. And granted, the horse did break, so he waited to the absolute last minute to let this horse run. I mean, he just got him out to the 6th path, let him run from the 3/16 home. Going to need to time the run perfectly for Dove Dynasty. A deeper closer. Field might get away from him in here. I'll toss in the 6. First time Lasix blinkers on for Robbie Vale's Vickers Chalice. A drop. Haven't seen this horse since July, but hey, it's a half to Concordia's Way, a pretty fast horse that Robbie did train. So I'm not going to kill the horse for that one race back in July. I think this horse can step it up and improve on the drop-in class.
All right, so Maiden 10 kicks things off there in race 1. Race 2 kicks off the early pick 4. 3 pick 4s on the afternoon here at Laurel Park. Race 2 starts the early pick 4 going 7 furlongs, 3 and up, claiming 5,000. Everyone 2 lifetime. We have a video spotlight to show you on the 3 Valadier, who I use in my top 3. Here's the race for Valadier, September 15th, right here at Laurel.
Yeah, 30 cents to the dollar, and you're thinking, man, this horse has got no chance from right here. What a ride by Ashley Castrense, though. Bottled up, steadied along pretty much from the half-mile pole to about the quarter pole, and this horse was able to kind of navigate through and find room. You see Benlor, who we thought we were going to see in today's opener, out there setting the pace, and a pretty good internal, 23:46 and change. Still, nowhere to go for Valadier, the one that afternoon. Finds a seam here past the quarter pole and going to really kind of shift out and kick it on well late. Valadier dropping in class, well, not really a drop. The Maiden 10 to the nickel 2 and life stand. That's the right kind of move. But I like the versatility. This is a horse that wanted the front end over at Timonium. Showed a lot of poise to be able to overcome this traffic and win with something in reserve there. Just a little bit of a hand ride going clear late. Going to be a short price this afternoon. You're going to get Kevin Gomez. I go for the 5. I opt for the 5. Disco Express ran a little quicker at Timonium, and I thought maybe a little bit better race. That 2 in life was wide every step against the next stout winner. Stat for Trombetta, he's done pretty well with the nickel claimers. Just 5,000 claimers over the last couple of years. He's 9 for 34, 25 for 34 in the money with a positive ROI. Disco Express is going to need to save some ground. 7 furlongs certainly might be pushing the limits for the 5 Disco Express.
We like the same 4 horses here. I have the 1 all spun up on top. Rider change, make the rider Raylu Gutierrez. No apprentice weight. This horse is going to carry 125 with a bug boy riding for Corrales. I don't like that. A little snafu with the entry process. Something happened there with Corrales. But this horse ran okay last out up there at Suffolk. Just got beat against 6,500, 2 life up there at Suffolk. That was a second race off the layoff. Should be sitting on a big effort today. 3rd off the layoff.
Yes, Dan, certainly should be part of the pace flow. And here, Son of Sanibel, the winner, did step up to a 12.5 2 in life and run okay. A decent, I believe, maybe 3rd, ran a 52 the other day for 12.5. That kind of buyer is going to get you. Should get you the money in this race. Yeah.
All right, so we like the same 4 there in race 2. Let's turn the page here. Race 3, we get on the turf. Nice big field on the Exceller turf course in race 3. Rail setting at 70 feet. We're going a mile and a 16th on the Exceller. Maiden special weight for filly mares 3 and up, and we both go with the 10. This horse is going to be a popular favorite here in the 3rd. Decorating from the Tom Proctor barn, a homebred for Glen Hill Farm by Galileo. Trevor McCarthy will ride. Lots to like about this 3-year-old. We have a stat here from the Tom Proctor barn relating to the 10, Decorating, the favorite here in race 3.
I went back and broke this down a little bit. This is an awfully strong stat. Guys, if we've got that Proctor over the last 5 years at Laurel, how about this? 7 for 17, 41% with filly and mare maidens routing on the grass, and ROI just right about, let's call it $3, Stan. Pretty strong stat. And boy, does she come out of the right races. In her debut, got a little education behind Belrue, who came back to win an allowance, then goes to Monmouth off of that Delaware try. just gets run down late by Agreeable. Well, that horse happened to come back and win an allowance at Belmont. Certainly bred to run all day by Galileo out of a theatrical mare. Should be able to handle any type of surface, turf surface. A little given to ground. I'm not concerned about that. And, boy, she has good positional speed against this field. Going to be awfully tough to beat. Got her lined. I've got her lined, I think, a little too high at 5-2.
All right, we both like her here. She's been working well up there on the synthetic, on the Tapeta up there at Fair Hill for Proctor. Trevor McCarthy should get a real – this filly has some early speed to put herself in a great position going into that first turn. So we both have the 10 decorating on top. The 3, Benavita's going to get a nice ground-saving trip from the inside. Jevion Toledo on this filly for trainer Kelly Rubley. She hasn't done anything wrong recently. She's been knocking on the door at this maiden special weight level on a yielding turf course, on a good turf course last time. Yes, the beaten favorite, but a good second. She'll be right there. First-time blinkers last time, and she ran a big race. Ran her best race last out, her best career race last out, first-time blinkers.
And it doesn't give you that big push late, the last eighth of a mile, but she was willing on a surface maybe similar to what she's going to get this afternoon. And Fort Love for Dale Capuano, that was first-time turf for that horse, and I think she just went ahead and dictated on the front end. Benavita may be looking for a little bit more help up front.
All right, we both like the 7 Soar from Shadows from the Trez Abbott barn first start. In the Trez Abbott barn, 3-year-old filly by Bernardini. She was running for Jimmy Toner up there in New York, and a decent third last out on a good turf course at Belmont against Maiden Special Weight. That's a strong race up there. The horse that was second in that race would come right back to win. So Soar from Shadows gets a top turf rider with Fergal Lynch, making her first start in the Trez Abbott barn today.
Yeah, at the right distance, 1.25 miles, maybe just a little too far back in June, and he's done fine with horses transferring into his barn. Smaller sample. He's 5 or 6 in the money with runners, I believe, with a win first after a trainer switch with the maiden. So I'm not really worried about the barn shift at all. Soar from Shadow is going to be part of this race here, race 3.
All right, so nice big field there in the third. Both Keith and I had the 10 decorating with Trevor McCarthy up for Tom Proctor on top. Let's get a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll dive into the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. That starts in race 4 today. No carryover. We're starting fresh. I hit it for about 5,500 or so last Sunday. They hit the Rainbow Pick 6. I like the late Pick 5. That's starting in race 5. We'll take a look at all that right after this.
Join us for Jim McKay Maryland Million Day on Saturday, October 20th at Laurel Park. Come with friends and family to Maryland's Day at the Races. It's a celebration of Maryland's horses and lots of fun for all ages. First race is at 12 with 11 exciting races throughout the day. Families can enjoy the Kids Corral with activities for children of all ages. From live music to the annual hat contest, it'll be fun for all at Laurel Park Saturday, October 20th. For more information, visit MarylandMillion.com or LaurelPark.com.
All right, welcome back. Let's take a look at the first leg of today's 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. It starts in race 4. No carryover. They hit it for about 5,500 last Sunday. So we're going to start fresh today in the Pick 6. We also kick off the middle Pick 4 here in the 4th. We're going a flat mile on the main track, claiming 5,000 for 3-year-olds or older horses. Never won 3, and I made the 1 Zarski my best bet of the day. Taking a drop here off the claim for trainer Kieran McGee. Kieran's 21% first off the claim. Weston Hamilton will ride. This horse is in good form. A nice win going long on the turf at Indiana last out, but has some good dirt races on his form as well. 4-year-old son of Tapazar broke his maiden on the main track against maiden 20,000 going long at Keeneland this past April. So anything close to that, I think Zarski in a good spot here against Nickel 3 Life Company.
And Kieran, no stranger. He'll search far and wide for a good claim. He got one the other day, right? If I'm not mistaken, another one from Indiana Downs for Gumster. They got the win. This one aggressively spotted, cut in half off of the claim. Looks a little bit better on the turf, but dirt shouldn't be an issue. Is one of the stayers in this group. Not a lot of horses with a solid finish going around the ground. Going to be a short price as well. I'll take one final stab with the 2 Young American. We've got Carrasco riding for Claudio Gonzalez. They hit it a tremendous rate, 35-40%. But Young American, I don't know what's happened, but the drop down in half, he's done awfully well, Claudio, with these horses when they get cut in half. I'm going to just throw out the sloppy sealed surface. This is the last shot for Young American. If he goes, he's going to go right to the front. Aggressive ride. May have to deal with Flankenstein. had really no clue how to line this horse, Stan. I mean, if the money really shows up, then I think he's going to be live. But off of his last two, you should get anywhere between 4 and 6 to 1.
Sure.
Especially with the Kieran entry, which I think is going to take plenty of money.
I liked him both times at Timonium, and he didn't run very well there at all. Threw a clunker as a favorite last time in the slot, but is dangerous today, taking a big drop from the leading trainer's barn. So the two Young American, Keith's top pick, the 6. We both like the 6 here. Roman Warrior from the Net Eubanks barn. Kevin Gomez will ride a nice win 2-back at Delaware against 7,500 2 life. The race last out. She was trying to get on the turf against 16,000. That didn't go well, but takes a drop to the right level today for the 6 Roman Warrior.
Yeah, he's in his best form of his career right now. I can't fault him. I think he can handle the mile distance no problem. I know he's 0 for 8 with a second, but against this group he certainly fits. Had trouble last time out, and then we got off the rail. The rail was golden pretty much on the 14th, so I'll forgive that. Roman Warrior, he just has to maintain form. He'll be okay.
All right, let's turn the page here. I like the late pick 5 today. That starts in race 5. No carryover. That paid big last Sunday as well, the late pick 5. The pick 5s always pay well here with that industry low 12% takeout. I have a ticket today for the late pick 5. Let's take a look. A very affordable $36 play. I'm going to go 4 deep here in race 5. It's a 16,000 2 life turf sprint. I'll use the 4, 6, 7, 15. The 15 draws in off the AE. Make sure you pay attention to that. The 14, Where You Was, and the 15, Great Adventure, who's 3 to 1. They both draw in off the AE. I make my top pick in this race is 7, Preachin' George. So using the 4, 6, 7, 15 in race 5. In race 6, it's a maiden 16 for 2-year-olds going a mile. I used the 5 and the 7 there. Race 7. That's a nice allowance race going long in a bowl game turf course. I like the 2, Beltway Bob on top at 6 to 1, but I'll use the 3 and the 10 there as well. Race 8, nice starter allowance going long on the Exceller turf course. The 3, Mr. Bridger, beaten favorite at this level, last out from the Jane Sibeli barn, but she can get, she's capable of getting this 4-year-old Son of English Channel and back in good form. Fergal Lynch will ride. Let's see if Mr. Bridger can make amends today. He's my price play of the day at 9 to 2. I'll key on him. Then race 9, a maiden 16 going a mile in the bowl game. I used the 1, 10, 11 there. The 1, Stormy Patriot, a 3-year-old by Tail of the Cat, taking a drop today from the Susan Cooney barn. Gets Weston Hamilton. Should get a nice ground-saving trip on the inside. So I go 1, 10, 11 there in race 9. $36 play for the late pick 5 starting here in the 5th race. Let's take a look. 5.5 on the Exceller with the rail at 70 feet, claiming 16,000, 3 and up. Never won 2 lifetime. The conditions here for race 5. I go with the 7 on top, Preachin' George from the Tim Keefe barn. This horse, the debut last November as a 3-year-old on a yielding turf course. We have a good turf course today, so there is some giving the ground to our turf course this weekend. And Preachin' George, like the yielding turf course when he won his debut against Maiden 40,000. He hasn't been back on the turf since then. He tried a couple allowance races on the main track last year. No good. He came off a long layoff back in mid-September. They were trying to get him on the turf at this level. Came off the turf that day. They kept him in. They wanted to keep their turf preference state. They have him in the turf today. He ran a good race on the comeback. Now second off the layoff. We get the bug boy, Joan Rosado. I have the 7, Preachin' George on top here in the 5th.
Yeah, I defaulted to him as well, just off of the 1 proven race on a yielding surface, 1 for 1 on the turf. Worried about the drop, though, off the layoff. I didn't like to see in that, but the horse ran pretty good. Can he squeeze another race out of him? He looks like he should move up on the turf. Closed against the grain of the racetrack on the 14th, did the 7. Preachin' George. I thought this was a really, really, really tough race. A lot of ways to go. I'm going to use him. I'm going to use Jammer. I've been a fan of Jammer. I think he's better at 5.5 than 6. A little freshening for Bobby Leaf. He's going to make a run into the pace, and the pace is going to be honest. We've got some speed in here with the likes of Native Flora and the horse that drew in to the outside. Great Adventure, Stan, for Demasi. This horse is awfully quick, but 5.5. Can he get to 5.5?
Right.
I mean, that's the main concern. So I'm going to look for some horses, maybe settle, make a run from mid-pack from 4 or 5 out of it. Hopefully they can. Also going to toss in the 6, Lion Lord.
All right, so we both like the 4 and the 6. The 4 Jammer, he's coming out of some strong races. His last 3 races have all produced next out winners. So you get Julian Pimentel, who struck a nice rapport with this horse. The 6 Lion Lord you have to like from the Corrales barn. Rider change, make the rider Fergal Lynch on the 6 Lion Lord, who we both like. The 15, you're right, he's very quick. He's going to have to clear from the outside. Alex Cintron, very good rider. Kate Massey, very good with the turf. This guy by a Great Notion out of a good mare, Potomac Bend. That was a quick time going 5/8 at Monmouth two-back to break his maiden against Maiden 30,000. And then spit the bit last out on the main track, but he gets back to the turf today, and you're right, he's going to have to get that. He's going to have to clear from the outside. You hope he doesn't get parked 5-6 wide, and he's going to have to get that extra half furlong today.
Yeah, I think definitely the row's going to go through him. I think he's faster than everybody if he just wants to go ahead and dead send with a good break. It's that last 16th of a mile that concerns me, a little bit of a drop in class. Yeah, I don't quite buy the 68 at Monmouth, but you know, we're going to find out. He's going to be a shorter price. I think it's a spread race.
All right, let's turn the page here. You like the late pick 4 today. That starts in race 6, the third and final pick 4 of the day. We're going a mile, maiden claiming $16,000 for 2-year-olds. Here's your ticket.
Yeah, $20 ticket. Too deep. They're the first 3 legs. Race 6, we're going to go 5 and 7. Lucky Bull and the 7 Kosher Contract. I know we have a lot of similar picks here in these later races. Key scratch of the Top Hat Warrior. That horse was going to make that entry awfully short, but not now. So 5 and 7 in race 6. Race 7, settling around the 2 and the 3. Beltway Bob, Daniel Ledoux, 8th race at 3 and 7. Both Sabelli horses, Mr. Bridger and Tis Discreetly. I like the 7 a little bit more, a little higher price there of the Sabelli runners. And then the 9th, another race I think you've got to spread. 1, 6, 8, 10, 11. Let's hope we can get through those first 3 legs. We can give it a good shot in the last with 5 runners. $20 for your ticket. That's your late pick 4.
All right, I like it. We have some similar horses that we like. Let's take a look at race 6. Maiden 16, 2-year-olds going a mile. Kind of a soft group.
Yeah.
The 5 and the 7, they looked the best to me. I go 7-5. I use both horses on my late pick 5 ticket. The 7, my top pick, Kosher Contract from the Linda Albert barn. Jorge Riaz on this 2-year-old by Preakness winner Louis Couture. Showed speed last out. At least he showed a little life going a mile in the slop. So showed some speed that day against Maiden 40,000 company. Coming off a layoff. He had the whole summer off. It was first time Lasix last out. Showed speed, then stopped. Now we take a big drop from the Maiden 40,000 to the Maiden 16,000 today. Hopefully that is good enough to get this guy to be able to finish a little bit better today.
Yeah, it doesn't bode well when you're 5 clear just cruising along. He did show a little resistance once they collared him at the top of the stretch in a better group. Drops down. And Bro, You're Killing Me, the 3, I think might show a little bit more speed with Almodovar on for Joan Reynolds, a buyer of 28 and 27. That's good enough. That fits against this group's trying to stretch out 4 furlong, a 6 furlong. Now we're going to go right to the mile. But I like Lucky Bull here, the 5. Reported first-time gelding for Hammy Smith. Maiden special. Maiden claiming we've seen this move time and time again for him, and he scores. He can do that. Albeit really not a strong return on investment. This horse is going to be a short price. But the family, look back at the family. Samsonic, Lucky Brother. There's horses in the family that like going long on the dirt. Key could be the first-time gelding in the drop.
All right, so we both like the 5-7, 7-5 on top. We both like the 4 as well here. He's pretty clever from the Susan Cooney barn. This horse has to be better than what he's shown so far. He's tried Maiden Special Weight, Maiden 40. They were both tough races, too tough for him. He didn't run a lick. They put the blinkers. They're doing the right thing here. They put the blinkers on, and they're dropping them today. Xavier Perez will ride. Hopefully, he's by jump start. Come on now. This horse has got to show a little life, I would think, today against Maiden 16,000.
Yeah, I mean, pinched in debut, checked, fell back early against a better group. You know, comes down. Grand River has come back since to win. Yeah, blinkers got to be the key. At least it's a positive angle for this barn from a pretty good sample.
All right, let's turn the page here. Race 7, a nice allowance race for 3 and up. For Maryland-bred, Maryland-sired horses, A Other Than going a mile and a 16th on the bowl game with the rail at 17 feet. We both like the 2, Beltway Bob. He'll probably be dead last turner for home, coming 10 wide, but that's how he runs, and he gets up in the final jumps. Let's show you the win from early August here at Laurel Park on a yielding turf course. This was from August 9th, and here comes Beltway Bob with that wide late move.
You see him on the extreme outside in the black and red silks. This is what we want. This is what we want to see today. Leaders staggering with a little bit of a duel on the front end under some left-handed encouragement. Forest Boys times the ride perfectly, is going to put a head in front and then go clear at the wire. The mile and 16th distance fits. A little give in the ground fits for Beltway Bob. I think he's going to have okay flow. We've got the scratch of Bay Bridge. I was hoping he'd stay in to kind of go out there. I think that's going to improve the chances of the 10. No knock grade, but Beltway Bob proven over this type of surface. I think he can kind of turn the tables on Daniel Ledoux when they faced each other back. When was that? That was July 20th. I think he can turn the tables, and he's going to be a better price.
Daniel Ledoux, he's one tough customer. Jevion Toledo, he won on this horse, like you said, back on July 20th. Daniel Ledoux, a 4-time winner on the Laurel grass, and he'll get a good ground-saving trip. 6-year-old by Louis Couture's for Ann Merriman. He's made over $140,000 on the turf. This is a good level. This Maryland bred allowance level for him. Forget the race last out in the slop. He doesn't like the slop. He's 0-3, but the race 2 back. Beaten favored, but a real good third at this level here at Laurel Park.
He was able to overcome trouble, too, back in July, so that bodes well. But no knock rate for Ferris Allen. I like his positioning now. Showed me a little bit more last time out in that win. I didn't know if he would sustain and keep going like that, but he did. A little extra distance shouldn't be a terrible problem. Zen's Land is a horse that fits, runs well in open claiming company in that $15,000 range. I think he's a must-choose as well.
All right, so Cole 2, 3, 10 trifecta there in race 7. Let's turn the page here. Race 8 is going to kick off the late daily double. Big field going a mile in a 16th on the Exceller Turf Course rail at 70 feet. 25,000 starter allowance, 3 and up. Never won 2 is the condition. Mr. Bridger, he was the beaten favorite at this level back in mid-August. I normally stay away from those horses, but it's Jane Sibeli. She's very good, especially with the turf. She's given this horse about 6 weeks off, freshen him up there at Monmouth. Fergal Lynch back to ride. Mr. Bridger, you look at a race right before that, 2 back at Delaware, in a very good effort up there at Delaware, good second, and a little disappointing last out. He had a runaway winner there, Seeking the Sunset, and Benevolent Prince is back in this race. He'll be tough. He'll have speed from the inside. I go 3-1, my exacta for race 8.
A little firmer ground that day, Stan. August the 16th. The field kind of got away from him. He's shown he can lay a little bit closer, and I think with this course being a little bit softer than August the 16th, it's going to allow him to lay softer. Seeking the Sunset was a runaway winner. He was full of run, and you see the track maybe held up the one, Benevolent Prince, for Kelly Rubley and Toledo that afternoon. I'm liking Mr. Bridger right back as well, but I also like the other Sibeli horse, the 7, Discreetly. They all key up against taxable goods. This horse a little bit less on experience, but I think he's cycling into his best form, and I like the protect move. They've had this horse in for a tag recently, not this afternoon. If I'm looking at it correctly, you're going to get Trevor McCarthy. He's going to make a good sustained run from mid-pack and be a little bit better price than Mr. Bridger.
All right,
although I think he will be a little better price.
Sibeli going to be awfully tough here in race 8 with the 3 and the 7. Can the 1 steal it on the front end with Toledo? Benevolent Prince probably going to go right to the front again today, right?
Yeah, I've got a plan with a little bit of speed. Sparty, I think, will show some foot. I'm not completely sold on that horse. And you've got Maryland Pride coming in. Second time off the claim for Runco and Angle. He's done well primarily at Charlestown. But they got this horse down in Florida, just completely tossed the last. My biggest concern, I like him better at maybe 7 furlongs to a mile. A mile and 16th might be pushing the limits for Maryland Pride. But he's going to certainly get plenty of play. And he kept pretty good company down south.
All right, so nice starter allowance going long on the Exceller to kick off the late daily double. Let's take a look at the 9th and final race. Maiden claiming 16,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, going a mile in the bowl game. Rail setting at 17 feet. I go the inside here. Stormy Patriot, a homebred for Lazy Lane Farms, and trainer Susan Cooney. Well-bred guys by Tail of the Cat. And a decent effort 3 back last June right here at Laurel Park against Maiden. 25,000 company going long on the turf. That was first-time Lasix, first-time blinkers. It woke him up. A real good second with a 57 buyer. Then it came off the turf against Maiden Special Weight early August, so he gets a big excuse there. He kind of ran a clunker last out on a good turf course, so that's kind of alarming. Broke from the one hole that day and didn't really pick up his feet. So I'm hoping he's been freshened up since then. He'll get a good ground-saving trip again today with Weston Hamilton. I'm hoping he'll like a good turf course a little bit better today. Drop into the maiden 16, the cheapest he's ever run.
There is just nothing you can really say stone cold in here. This race, 5, 6, 7 horses, pretty much everybody's got a shot. We made it. I used last time. This is going to be first time blinkers on the grass. Didn't run terrible back in July against Mr. Discretionary, a buyer of 52. The time before that, one was unfortunately disqualified. I don't see a lot of pace in this race. Maybe look within. I think things are going to be comfortable up front, and We Made It's going to have enough to last over this group. But too many unknowns in here to really get excited with one horse. You've got to go 5 or 6 deep in your multi-race wagers.
I agree. So we both like the 1 and the 11. We both like the 8 as well here. The 8, Guthrie's Collar from the Flint Stites barn. Caramano's will ride. The 2 turf tries against Better Company. Maiden 40,000 back in July. Didn't run very well that day. Maiden 16 back in early July, but that was going 5.5. That's probably not his game. This will be second off the layoff today. We're dropping. You get Caramano's, Guthrie's Collar, the 8. He could have something to say about race 9.
Both out of that same race, July 20th, right? He in my top selection. Maybe a bomb Hammy Smith lurking. You got Ray Lou Gutierrez. You got a live bug rider and a horse. The family Data Link all turf, bottom side all grass going long. If he's going to do anything, I think it's going to be right now long on the turf. But there's your flyer in the 9th.
What a hoot. All right, so wide open 9th race. Good luck in all your will pays going into race 9. Who's out there jogging? Well, one of our jockeys out there jogging. He's getting ready.
He's got pretty good pace there, doesn't he?
He's getting ready for some Thursday racing. So good luck today. Beautiful weather. Come on out here. Sharpen up those handicapping skills. Don't forget about second week of the Stronach 5 tomorrow. We'll have lots more information about that as we get closer to the Stronach 5. Good luck. It's a beautiful day. Dave Rodman coming up next with Scratches and Changes.
Good luck.